This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you with a book from Robert Kiyosaki called Fake. His book came out a couple months ago, and by far, I think this is Kiyosaki's best book he's done to date. If you're a fan of Kiyosaki like me, I've read all of his books, and I continue to read them because there's always some little bits of information. But this book really goes into depth, and some people have criticism sometimes saying that, Kiyosaki kind of rehashes a lot of the same things. This book takes a completely different, not completely different approach, but a lot of new information that I really didn't hear about. Even a couple of stories that, if you've read a number of Kiyosaki books, you'll hear some of the same stories. But he expounds on them and does it in such a profound way. I can't stress enough about taking the time to read this book. Of course, I'm going to put a link inside the description, Fake. Let me just give you a couple excerpts from it and see the reason why. Here, I'm reading chapter 9 right now, and it says, Rich Dad often said, you cannot fish in a clean water. He also said, you can only fish in muddy water. In the earlier chapter I wrote, it's easier to give people fish than to teach people to fish. And this is where the line that really stuck out to me. Why? Because learning to fish is hard. All real learning is hard. Think about the game of golf. And it goes on in different aspects like that. Another aspect that I read to my daughters, because it was just so profound, his take on school. If you read a number of his books, you're going to hear him talk constantly, negatively about school. And it's not just because of just his interpretation of it. The way we've been taught about school and how that is the end all be all of everything. The world has changed, and with the student loan crisis being is, and I've done a number of videos about that, we have to think about things differently. So I'm going to read you another expert. This is on page 74. Real life is not like life in school. In real life, you do not memorize answers, take a test, and pass or fail. Real life is a lifelong learning process. There are no right answers. When you're really learning, you're learning throughout your whole life. There's no one special teacher to learn from. In real life, everything is your teacher. In real life, there's no such thing as one right answer. A right answer in one situation can be the wrong answer in a different situation. In real life, you learn from everything, from your wins and especially from your failures. In real life, it is foolish to follow only one teacher. Believe in only one philosophy and live in a world of I'm right and you are wrong. I had to highlight that, and I actually read it to my daughters because it was so powerful. I encourage you to, I have a tendency of reading things over and over again. I'm not going to do it in this video, but that line alone is a given reason for you should even take a look at this book. Here's another one. The real truth is today, money is survival. 1,000 years ago, no one really needed money to survive. 1,000 years ago, hunters could hunt for food and gatherers could gather what they needed to survive. Today, people need money for food, shelter, transportation, education, and personal survival. Rather than tell the truth about money, the truth being that money is essential for survival, people tell lies about money. Why? Because in most cases, they can't handle the truth. Another powerful excerpt from this book, and this is only on page 75. I know people given videos before about books and you become biased. And again, I say the same thing because I am biased to Robert Kiyosaki. I may not agree with all the principles here, but this book has just been profound. I'm up to page 188, and I had another excerpt from the book that I was going to read out to you too about education again. Also, I can't find it right here, but he goes into a really big chapter on gold and silver. I've done a video in the past about gold, silver, and I think it should be part of everybody's portfolio. But for his reasons that he gives the 5 G's to be a realist, it is important to be a pessimist and an optimist. Gold and silver are essential for life, even if you've never been around it, because it's been around throughout thousands of years. And will be here when the cockroaches die and everything else. And he makes that excerpt for that. I can't stress enough about taking a look at this book. It really will open your eyes. And if you read books of Kiyosaki before, and you're curious, like, well, I probably heard it all before, and he kind of repeats the same. This book will really, by far, is his best book. Fake. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. How Lies Are Making the Poor and the Middle Class Poorer. Can't encourage you enough to take a look at this book. I'm going to put a link inside the description. Think about purchasing it. Until my next video, I'm out.